Welcome back to Biophilic Solutions, a podcast that's all about the human connection to nature.
Nature doesn't just surround us. We are nature. Our bodies, minds, and even our communities are tuned into its rhythms.
But in today's fast-paced modern world, we've drifted away from that connection, and the consequences are showing up everywhere, in the environment, in our politics and culture, and even how we feel about life.
On this podcast, we sit down with leading experts to uncover how nature influences everything, from the way we design our cities to the way we govern, heal, and make meaning of the world.
Rediscovering our place in nature isn't just about feeling good. It's the kind of transformation we need to create a better world.
So let's get to today's episode.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Monica.
Jen, are you getting a little deja vu?
Funny you should ask, Monica, because I definitely am. A couple of weeks ago, we spoke to Hiro Agrawal about the loneliness epidemic, and today we're speaking to her twin sister, Miki Agrawal.
That's right. And like her sister, Miki is an incredible entrepreneur. She uses creativity and disruptive innovation to really challenge the status quo and shift culture, which I really feel like she's doing. She's the founder of several acclaimed ventures, including Wild Restaurants, Thinx period underwear, and TUSHY bidets.
Which I love, by the way.
I know.
Exactly. She's also the best-selling author of Do Cool Shit and just her, H-E-R. And now her latest project is Hiro, an eco-friendly diaper that breaks down naturally with the help of a little mushroom magic.
Yep. And so while preparing for this interview, I was honestly floored to learn that the average diaper takes more than 500 years to decompose in a landfill. Also, it leaches harmful plastics and chemicals into the environment the whole time. So it's something you don't really think about as a busy mom, but the impact is huge.
Exactly. And the common thread running through most of Miki's businesses is a mission to make our waste less wasteful, which I also love.
Yep. Which means we'll be talking about poop and periods in this episode and all the environmental waste that comes along with them.
In our conversation, we dive into the hidden harms of traditional diapers and why tapping into the power of nature is essential for creating better, bolder products we use every single day.
So let's get to it. And here's our conversation with Miki Agrawal.
We're thrilled to have this conversation with you.
Same. I'm already so into the vibes.
I know our listeners don't know that we had a very interesting podcast conversation as we kick this off, which we'll keep to ourselves unless we create a whole different podcast.
No, vibes are high. Listen, we should let everyone in. I love good vibes.
So I love everything that you've been doing, and we've sort of like boiled it down into. And you can just be like, I hate this or I love it. Entrepreneurial, waste management, and reduction.
I mean, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
And then the second thing I'll say is the listeners are going to love this. It is the most biophilic things that we can think of, right? Mm-hmm. Because biophilia is all about nature and natural actions and solutions. So let's talk about poop and menstruation and diapers.
All the things, all the most important, the things that humans do. You're welcome to be talking about
that we don't want to talk about, that none of us want to talk about, or maybe we're starting to talk about, or when we're forced to talk about it.
Well, now there's pride, I think. Now there's pride. I think there's a lot of pride around it now. Because in the beginning, when I first started, like 8 years ago, there was like, we'll get into it further, but people putting their tampons in their sleeves and slinking away to the bathroom quietly.
Yeah.
And now there's this like prideful, I have my period moment. I love free bleeding in my underwear vibes. And so I think there has been a huge shift in the last 8 years since we started the first project, but I'm excited to get into the current project. Because it's the most nature inspired. It is nature inspired. It is nature. We're actually working with nature. Yeah. So
it really is. And again, we need to start thinking about embracing these natural everything about us naturally and not sort of hide from it. And I think that shame and fear and cultural like tamping down is just it's just time.
Although
it's time to get rid of it.
I will say, like when you're talking about adult excrement, there's some taboo to it. When you're talking about baby poop, like all moms talk about is baby poop and diaper changing and what.
Oh my god!
So actually, like the work I'm in, I feel like it's the least taboo, but it's the most like, I guess, removed from a lens of like humanity and nature. Like, how do they come back together in a way that's really, really interesting, really creative, and really collaborative. And I think that's, with periods and poop, like, it's very singular. Like, I'm solving my own problem, but this is like truly an ecosystem solution that we're solving. But we'll get into that because I'm sure everyone's like, what are you talking about?
Well, and so, in our intro, we talked about the diapers. So Hiro Diapers, having dealt with diapers for two children who are now 18 and 20, I still remember it fondly. And your brand is a reaction to, right? You trying to figure out, like, what do we do? This is like these things that we're putting back into the landfill after their use has so much degradation to the environment. And I am maybe a little embarrassed to say it. I mean, I use the Pampers with those little pellets in it that, absorbed everything. And I don't know if they went anywhere. And I was very thought about cloth, but it was like almost at like the early days of cloth where they still didn't have the great stuff. But even then I was like, I don't really want to deal with all this stuff. So we fall into convenience, but then that ends up being a negative on the environment. So talk to us about Hiro. How were you inspired?
We'll take it from there.
Yeah. I mean, it's when you really think about just the diaper crisis and you kind of pull back even one layer further, then we'll get into, we'll start with the plastic crisis, then go to the diaper crisis, and go to like the current challenges with diapering in general as a parent, and like what we're dealing with. So the first thing is the global plastic crisis. 91% of plastic is actually not being incinerated. It is not being recycled. It's being incinerated, put in landfills, put in oceans. Like, that is just what's happening today. And even like China is not taking our plastics anymore, and so we're having to send them to Africa. And it's just like, people don't even know what's happening behind the scenes of the plastic crisis. We just think that when you throw something away, it's just away. But when you really actually ask yourself, where is away? Where is away? Where is away? It's somewhere on this planet, that we're going to have to deal with, and we are dealing with. There's microplastics in Antarctica now, and there's not even humans living there. And so it has truly infiltrated. Now we're swallowing the equivalent of a credit card of plastic a week, and it's going to really mess with our hormones, endocrine, reproductive organ. It's a real thing that we're now facing as a human species. And when you kind of double click into the number one household plastic waste item, number 3 waste item in landfill is a baby diaper. Number 1 household plastic waste item, number 3 waste item in landfill. The number of diapers that end up in a landfill could circle the earth 33 times per year. That's the number of diapers that end up in a landfill. The very first disposable diaper is still in a landfill somewhere today. So like 18 plus billion end up in landfill annually, and growing, because as the developing countries are adopting disposable diapers, that number is astronomically increasing. And the very first disposable diaper is still in a landfill, because it takes 400 to 500 years for a diaper to break down in a landfill. Jesus. So when you really look at, and every single baby goes through up to 6,000 diapers in their lifetime. Every single baby goes through up to 6,000.
No.
So these numbers are crazy when you really sit with yourself as a human being and, as a parent. And so for us, it's sort of like what's really beautiful about Hiro, we've created the world's first shelf-stable fungi that can break down plastics. And so we look to nature for a solution. Nature has been inspiring all of our design challenges for so long. You look at, butterfly wings really, is what helped us think about solar panels, and like, the flying, obviously airplanes, like there's, birds to airplanes. There's just so many different methodologies that we have learned from nature and brought to the humans. Even our medicine is mostly fungi. Most people don't know that, but most of the medicine that we put in our bodies to heal our systems come from the fungal kingdom. And so just to give you a little 2-second history lesson on fungi, and then I'll bring it all together.
Please. No, love.
Yeah. So fungi were the number 1 being on Earth. So 3.5 billion years ago, approximately the planet was formed. And the very first being on Earth was a fungi. and like a being that can actually, breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. And it would actually learn how to take in rocks and spit out nature, basically. It would actually learn how to break things down. And that's what started underneath the entire, Earth's surface is the mycelial network, the fungal kingdom that connects us all. We inside our bodies have what you call a mycobiome. So we don't have just a microbiome, we have a mycobiome, a biome that is consisting of all the fungi, all kinds of different types of fungi. So when you think of the word fungi, we have this like weird, like, is it scary? But it literally lives inside of us. Most of our medicines come from fungi. We eat mushrooms as a medicinal way. We're taking reishi and chaga and all these different types of mushrooms now for functional health reasons. And so so it turns out that there are certain types of fungi, they're called the decomposer fungi, that can actually break things down. And so basically, 3.5 billion years ago, the Earth was formed. Fungi were the first being on Earth. About 360 million years ago, the first set of trees were formed with a carbon backbone that can stand up straight, that can do the whole photosynthesis thing, that, the whole fungal kingdom start to work with the plants, the mycorrhizal fungi, which are where plants and fungi work together to produce the most amount of nutrients and support one another to grow and thrive together in symbiosis. There's another type of fungi that learned, but I'll get to that in a second. So these trees were formed. All these trees popped up. And then eventually what happens to trees, like any being, they die. They started dying and they started just falling on the ground. But because there was nothing to break them down and decompose them, trees were strewn around the planet kind of like plastic. They were just like dead trees everywhere with no way to regenerate, to bring them back to the earth. So over the next 70 to 90 million years, all those dead trees and dead animals and stuff that formed started to compress and dinosaur, whatever, started compress and brought down to the earth as more layers of the earth was formed. Millions of years would compress all these dead trees and it formed our oil. So our oil is actually just carbon based, coming from dead trees and dead animals. And so when you think about plastic, fast forward, what is plastic made out of? Oil, petroleum, exactly. And so it's all carbon backbone. So let me go back to 360 million years ago. It took 70, 90 million years for fungi to really learn how to break down the carbon backbone called lignin, the hard part of trees, back into nature to regenerate. They kind of, when we digest our food, we digest them inside of our bodies. Fungi digest them outside of their bodies. And so these specifically, these decomposer fungi. And so they would spit out these enzymes to then start the breakdown process of the trees. And then, the termites and all the animals, whatever, would start to finish it and bring it back to the worms, would bring it to the earth. And so it was, in that period was really when so much of the oil was formed, 70 to 90 million years. So that's why there's so much oil, because it was so many millions and millions of years. But then fungi came to be, and they learned how to break down the carbon backbone of trees. And so when you fast forward to today with this crazy global plastic crisis, we have figured out, we looked at, as at Hiro, we at our company Hiro, we looked to nature to really figure out, wait a minute, nature's been breaking down this carbon backbone for millions of years. Can we take these fungi that have been breaking down trees, which is carbon based, to break down plastic, because it's also carbon based? It's just a different type of plastic. But instead of taking 70 million years, can we, with our human ingenuity and our human innovation, which we've been exponentially, as we see with AI and us talking on the phone right now with video, and it's crazy that we can do so much as a human species. All of this, by the way, comes from the planet Earth, right? So you look at our phones come from the earth. Our homes come from the earth. Our clothes come from the earth. Everything obviously popped up from the earth. Everything showed up from the earth. And so we really, over the last 4.5 years, looked at the millions of fungi in the world, looked at really studied thousands and thousands of strains in the decomposer family, whittled it down. We've collected over 1 million data points. We brought in an amazing team of microremediation PhDs, microdegradation, mycologists, top bioreactor engineers, like biologists, chemists. And we literally, brought together the most epic team to literally figure out, as harnessing human ingenuity and nature's ingenuity, we call it nature's innovation, humanity's innovation, to create a solution to help solve the global plastic crisis. And so we basically, I'll show you, we created these little pouches, and inside these little pouches are these dormant fungi. And fungi, plastic eating fungi have been found in landfills 20 years ago by researchers from Yale, from different researchers, and they harvested those fungi that have been growing in landfills and brought them to labs and to research them and look at them and to really study them. It's like, oh, they're breaking down plastics in landfills. Like, this could be a breakthrough. And so we also looked at those same plastics, and we're the first real company to take them out of a lab in a shelf-stable form and launching with a product. No one has ever figured out how to do that out of a lab yet until now. And again, we're in a global experiment, right? Like, this is a 1.0 version of fungi that are dormant inside. That are, by the way, safe. You can eat them. We don't suggest it, but you can eat. It's that safe. In fact, it's safer than the plastics of the diaper itself. People just, again, have lost touch. We have a microbiome. We eat fungi. We, use it for medicine. It's in everything. And yet there's this, like, somehow if you're touching my baby, you're like, it's actually like good. And so the truth is, it's actually not in the diaper. It gets added in after. So for the first moms, when you're first learning, like, is this safe? Is this good? We want to put it in a pouch first. So we launched with HiroDiapers.com, HIRO, named after my son Hiro. And I can tell the quick and dirty story of, like, quick and beautiful kismet story of how we inspired the idea. And I'll stop talking. I feel like I've just been on a monologue here, but
no, this is great. I'm fascinated. No, this is great. Wonderful.
Okay, great. Yeah. And so basically, this diaper is made out of, first of all, we want to create the most high performing diaper. So, like, when I think about creating solving a problem, whether it's a period problem with Thinx period underwear, or solving the poop, issue using, going through 15 million trees per year to make toilet paper. And TUSHY, my company, TUSHY, Hello TUSHY, our bidet company, we've helped save 10 million trees to date from getting flushed down the toilet. We have funded resoiling and reforestry projects all over South America. Just by installing a bidet in 10 minutes in your home, it takes 10 minutes to install. It can literally reduce your toilet paper consumption by 80%. You use a couple of sheets to pat dry, and then you're done. And it's the cleanest, it's like a precise shower for your butt, So I've always thought about, like, solutions that are practical and that are an upgrade to the human experience as well.
I like that.
Like,
upgrade to the human experience.
Yeah, I like that.
It can't just be an upgrade to the environment, because let's be honest, people are so disconnected. Unfortunately, they don't care as much. And I think more and more people are caring, but it's like a real thing. And so for us, it's almost like oh, by the way, you're saving the planet, And so it's like, so we've created the best in class diaper, high-end eco diaper that is unbleached, made with unbleached cotton, has an unbleached cotton back sheet, unbleached wood pulp. You can see it's kind of got this, like, tan hue. Like, all diapers are white because white equals clean, but it's not. It's bleached. It's so bad. It's imagine your baby sitting in bleach for the first 1,000 days of their life, like leaching into the baby's skin. So we're one of the first to have an unbleached core. So it's just it's unbleached cotton. And the challenge with diapers right now is that diapers are either high performing, just like you said, I use like the Pampers or whatever. They're high performing because they prevented leaks, but they take 400 years to break down, and it's terrible for the planet. The opposite is there's like the eco bamboo diapers that suck from a performance perspective. Like, you're leaking in 1 second, the baby's in diaper rash because it doesn't properly, absorb properly. And it's just like a shitty product. And then, but it breaks down in 150 years instead of 400 years, but it's still like truly greenwashed. It's still terrible. It's actually like the bamboo fibers, the way they're made, are actually more processed than the non-woven fibers of plastic. So it's actually like, it's a very greenwashed concept, and people are like, bamboo is better. It's not. From a process perspective and from a performance perspective and from actually an eco perspective, it's not. And so for us, we want to create a truly functional, high-performing diaper that doesn't leak, that absorbs really well, that performs well on the baby, and it breaks down with the help of our friendly fungi. And so it's like, it's high performing and eco. There's finally like truly, we hate to say like no compromise diaper, but it really is a no compromise. Like your baby sleeps at night. It works so well. The mom is happy. There's no diaper rash because it absorbs and it dries. And when you just, all you do is when you're changing the diaper off the baby, you just add one of these and you drop it in and you close it and you throw it in your trash.
You don't even have to open it?
You don't even have to open it. You drop the whole pouch, the whole thing. And you literally just take the pouch, you drop it in and you close it, you throw it in the trash. Like you don't throw it in your backyard. Like, you just put it in your trash. And then in a couple of weeks, these little fungi get fertilized by your baby's poop or pee and wakes up. And then it starts the breakdown process of the diaper.
Wow. So that wetness breaks it down. So even if it's not in a wet landfill, the process has already started. Like there's no external processes or technology that anybody has to do.
That's it.
From the family to the landfill. It's already, the technology's all in the diaper.
It's like your baby's poop or pee. It's your baby's poop or pee that's going to fertilize. Our tagline is "Baby Save the World." Can you see that? Our tagline for Hiro is "Baby Save the World," and
I love it
because it's like your baby. It's like it's the purest. And by the way, it's mother's breast milk too, and sort of like what's feeding the baby. That's actually, and formula is also good. It's nutrient rich, but it's like that is what is feeding the baby poop and the pee. And so it's really like the combination of mother and babies, which is the purest form of love, partnering with Mother Nature to solve one of the greatest crises of our time. And so
I love it.
I love this.
Yeah, we're starting with a baby diaper because it's the number one household plastic waste item, number 3 waste item, and 75% of all soft plastics can be found in a baby diaper. And so polypropylene, polyethylene, PET, and SAP, like all those materials are inside a baby diaper. And so we have gone after the hardest, most challenging plastics to break down, because if we can if we can break down a diaper, we can break down everything else. We're going for pads, adult diapers, everything else afterwards.
Great.
But the diaper is first because it's the number one. It's creates the most amount.
God, and I hadn't even thought about that. Of course. Adult diapers, menstruation pads. I mean, all these things
Doggy wee-wee pads
are absorbing, besides Thinx, that you can't reuse.
That's right.
Or you're not reusing. Oh God, it is. It's like this. It's not only is it this thing we don't talk about, the out of sight, out of mind, to your point. And I want to note, like, great. So China doesn't want to take it anymore, any of our recycling anymore. So now we send it to another country that is going to have these negative consequences. Like we're outsourcing our environmental degradation to another country who doesn't have the resources that we do, which is like just another layer of terribleness. I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
It's this unconsciousness, but it's also like this, this like just pleasantly ignorant. You're like, I have so much going on. I don't have time to think about it. It's just like, it's just too much. It's too much to think about, Right. And I think one of the other reasons why we chose a baby diaper is because it's one of the true acupuncture points of change for a parent to go through. You go from maiden to mother. You go from bachelor to father. And so you really go through this portal, a one-way doorway into I, me, selfie, to us, we. And we're hoping that we not only include your baby, but we include the entire ecosystem your baby's growing up in. So like when you're entering, like, what should I put on my baby? Like, what should I feed my baby? Organic only, like what natural organic cotton clothes, and like baby diapers you should consider, because if you're still sitting in bleach, the most of the touching of the baby, so consider the best baby diaper on the planet and one that breaks down. So like, hopefully we're like gonna help you shift from the I, me to us, we, which includes nature. And so what we're gonna do is like, as part of you joining the Hero's Journey subscription, which is like called the Hero's Journey, you're entering the Hero's Journey. And most people, when they enter Hero's Journey, if you actually look it up, the hero resists the call to adventure. So there's a resistance to change. There's a resistance. So like, society always wants to maintain its form. Society wants to hold its shape, maintain its form, doesn't want to move forward. And it always takes disruptors to kind of like push society forward. And then it takes like the first follower, the second follower to really be the leaders of change, to really move this entire giant society forward, right? And so being a new parent, it's this opportunity to teach the moms and parents how to become eco-forward leaders, because you become a leader of your household when you become a parent. You literally like, you have to make decisions for your family now. You have to make calls, and no one teaches you how to become a leader. And so we're going to teach people for free, like leadership training in eco-forward parenting. And so this way, like, and just parenting, just like leadership training. So like most people spend like pay 5,000, 10, whatever a month for coaching. We're going to give it to you for free when you join the Hero's Journey. And so like, that's going to be part of this program of becoming a leader of your home, a leader of your ecosystem, a leader of your community, you know, and the Hero Diaper is the gateway into like mom circles gathering and just being like, let me tell you about this diaper, but actually like, let me actually tell you how to become a leader in community in an eco-forward way that's still high vibe, it's still sexy, it's still fun, it's still cool, it's still easy. Here are some like quick hacks that you can do in 5 minutes. Like, oh wow, I didn't even know. I don't have to buy all this processed baby food. I can literally like bring a little, like I can just bring a little whatchamacallit, a grinder everywhere I go and grind all of my food that I eat myself and just give that to my baby as a little, so I don't have to get all this plastic like squeegee bottles that we're sold to. We literally can just take all the food that we're eating, is, you know, I'm eating healthy food. I'll just literally grind it up and then feed it to my baby, and that's it. Like you don't, there's so much less product, and you're like, wow, that's it. Like I just get a tiny, like here's a grinder that you can get. Like, and then one of the things I'm so excited about is teaching moms and parents about elimination communication. Do you know what that is?
No.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I'm just like going on a rant. So I'm really going to stop.
No, I love it.
This is perfect.
Okay, great. So I have so much to say. I don't even know where to begin.
Good. Keep going.
Keep coming.
Yeah. So elimination communication is basically a framework of cues for looking at your baby. Like babies can get out of diapers in like a couple of months, actually, like 5 months, you know, 6 months, like literally like so quick if you learn their cues. And if they just, because you can, I mean, again, you have to be like a really like present parent in many ways, but eventually you get a little potty and you put it next to your toilet. And then as your baby's, you know, going to potty, you kind of like help them, you start to like bring them to this potty in a way that then they kind of get the cue of like, then they're like, they kind of start crawling to the potty pretty quickly when they start to crawl within a few months, and they start to learn how to eliminate on their own. And it's a communication tool between parent and baby. And so what we want to do is teach the parent to get out of the diaper as fast as possible. Because when you think about like the moniker reduce, reuse, recycle, it's like, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle, you know, like some people like care about that. Most people like forget or whatever. And they're just like, for us, it's reduce, regenerate. Like, I think that there's a way when you reduce your consumption, you're saving money. When you reduce your consumption, it's less messy. You're teaching your kid elimination communication. So we're teaching you to get out of your diapers faster. But if you're going to use diapers, use Hero Diapers, because they break down and return to the earth with our fungi.
Right.
You know, so it's like, like, let's just work together. Like, let's not make it more complicated. Use cloth diapers and the whole thing and washing the thing with a mask on and everything smells of vinegar. It's like, we don't want that. I've tried that. It doesn't work. Let's use something that's practical, which is a disposable diaper, but it's made with the best materials. It's unbleached. It's mostly like, it's 80% not plastic. There's 20% plastic in this diaper because then it makes it high performing. But We can do that because it breaks down and returns to the earth. They're a
It breaks
fungi.
down.
And so the bamboo diapers can't do that because they can't, there's no breakdowns. They use shitty materials that don't actually perform well. We can put the best materials that we can of plastic, the minimal amounts, but the most important ones to break it, to like perform well, but then they break down, you know?
Okay, so I have a million questions, but I do want to hear, I want to hear your son. How old is he now? And I want to hear like how you named it and everything. Cause it is, as a brander, like I love Hiro with an I, Hero's journey. Like I love I love what you've done.
Yeah.
But tell us how you came to that. And then I want to talk even more about like where you're going with this. Cause I'm really fascinated.
I want to know how you got here.
Well, I'm so great. That's number 2. Okay, good. So Hiro first and then background.
Totally. Well, so we rewind to 2019. So 2019. Okay. So I started taking what I call Friday thinking days, where I don't take I don't take any calls or meetings on Fridays. And it's a day, because otherwise you're just reacting all day and you're just like, there's no spaciousness for creativity. You talk about being a branding person, you know, you need spaciousness. You need like, you need to unravel and open yourself up to the creative source. Like you need that spaciousness. And as a creative and someone who likes to invent and create and to really think about how do you change culture? Like what are the real things that are going to get people to shift their consciousness forward? Like that is such a deep curiosity for me always. When I started Thinx, when I started TUSHY, even my restaurants, I started New York City's first gluten-free farm-to-table pizza restaurant.
Okay, that's a whole, we got to have a whole, who knew?
Yeah, and it was like, and it's this year's my 20-year anniversary, which is like so cool. And so it's still
amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah. And so, but people, you know, going from eating Joe's Pizza on the corner to like gluten-free farm to table back in 2005, they were like, what the fuck is this? Like, no,
early days.
Days when like literally like Subway sandwich is the healthy food. Like that's literally like, you know, and so, it was, I really learned a thesis around changing culture, and I really care about that. And I can share that thesis after, but like really talking about this inception story. So I really love thinking and feeling into like what is the true internal motivator that's going to shift people's consciousness, that's going to get them to awaken to a new way, to like, let me wear a pair of underwear and bleed into them and not go through thousands of pads. And then we've helped divert millions and millions and millions of tampons and pads and applicators from landfills. Like we just have. And it's like, we've helped literally save millions of trees from being flushed down the toilet. But how? By offering people an upgrade to their own life. Right? And so, but this is very different because yes, it's an upgrade to their baby's life by offering a diaper. It is a high end. It's competing with coterie. It's competing from a price point perspective. But this is like they're high end. We're high end eco, and basically the same price. We're just high end eco. It's this. It performs as well. It just breaks down. Right. There's other high end eco companies out there that break down that are healthier, but they don't have our fungi that really break them down. And so, we really are truly high performing and truly they return to the earth. Like it's really exciting. And so on a Friday thinking day in 2019, I was just like, wait a minute, breast milk is liquid gold. Like we don't want to waste a drop of it. Like when I was pumping, I would like, don't spill it, And
exactly.
Right. And it's like breast milk is liquid gold. And I was like, then therefore baby poop must be fertilizer gold.
I love the way your brain works, Miki. I love it.
I was like, breast milk is liquid gold, then baby poop must be fertilizer gold. And right now, we're wrapping up billions of pounds of this mama juju fed Mother Earth fertilizer juju in plastic and throwing it in the trash. Billions of pounds of this potential energy. Right now we're using pig poop and cow poop in the most inhumane ways to fertilize our food that we're putting inside of our bodies. And we're not harnessing our own baby mama juju poop. Like, wait a minute, like there's something here. I'm like, what if when the baby poops into the diaper, it can trigger something to grow and eat the diaper.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
what could
Yeah.
that be? Like, I wonder what that could be. As I was asking myself, what could break down the plastic of the diaper and fertilized by the baby poop? I had no clue what that answer could be. My son, Hiro, at 2 years old, 2019, he was born in 2017, at 2 years old, he comes
Mhm.
running into my room, looks in my room, and points to a book in my nightstand. And he goes, Pacha, Pacha, Pachamama. And Pachamama means Mother Earth.
Oh.
And
Wow.
I look in my nightstand, he's pointing to a book called Pacha's Pajamas. And I was like, first of all, he's 2, he can't read. So how does he know the name Pacha? Obviously, my nanny or someone must have read him the title that he knows Pacha. But this book was given to me a year and a half prior by a woman at a conference. And, you know, you get a book by people and you put it in your bookshelf downstairs and you kind of forget about it.
Yep.
But this book ended up upstairs in my bedroom nightstand on my thinking day as I'm like,
Mhm.
what could break down plastic? So I'm like, huh. And he goes, Pacha, Pacha, which means Mother Earth. And I pull out this book, Pacha's Pajamas, and I start reading it to my son. And I start reading it, and, you know, he's 2 years old, so he runs away after page 3.
He's like,
As
thanks.
they do.
As they do. They just run away. And then I'm on my thinking day, so I just keep reading. And this book is about this young girl named Pacha who grows up in a polluted world. This is before COVID. She has to wear a mask to school. And
Mm.
in this book, like in her dreams, she and the animals in the forest save the planet. And so it's this beautiful book for like kind of young, you know, young adolescents or whatever. But I keep reading. I'm fascinated. And on page 31, it says there's certain types of fungi that can break down plastics.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's wild.
You're like, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
It was one of those like moments of my life that I literally had full chills, like full goosebumps, full like I'm listening.
That aha
Mhm.
moment of wow.
It was an aha moment. I was like, I wonder what could break down like the thing, like what fungi. Like I at the time, 2019, no one was talking about plastic eating fungi or like
Yeah.
fungi that can work on micro-remediation, break down plastics. Like it was such an early, like in the sciencey, like nerdy world from 20 years. It's been like kind of no, but like in the mushroom world maybe, but not in the mainstream. Like I never
Mhm.
heard of plastic, like fungi that can break down plastics. And so
Mm-mm.
it was just this like so then I just like tuned into nature and I was like, okay, like what's my next step?
Mm.
And it was just like, just start sharing, you know, we'll start looking into like plastic eating fungi and like start researching it. And so I just went deep into this and I was like, wow, there's like tons of research on this. I found this PhD in Pakistan who's been studying this. And I started like talking to him about it. And then that the weekend that this magical thing happened, that like the next day, it was Friday, the next day I went to upstate New York to my friend, ABC Carpet in New York. It's like the staple.
Yeah.
It was like
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the founder Paulette Cole, who started it and built it into this magical place, and they have these like epic like this upstairs area where people come and do events and speaking. It's
Yeah.
like a really cool environment for gathering. She turned this place into really like a hub of New York City for like decades. So she started this place up north called True North, and it was an opening of her launch of this next space upstate. And I went the next day, and I just like to Paulette and her daughter Lena, and I was like, "You're not gonna believe what happened." Like
Mhm.
this whole thing, this book, and the thing, and the thing, and then they were like, "Oh my God, you have to meet this guy named Paul Stamets." Who is this guy who was in the feature of the Fantastic Fungi, and he's like the mushroom guy, you know? And I was like, oh my God, I would love to. And they're like, well, he's coming to ABC on Wednesday. Would you like to meet him?
Oh my
And
Wow.
I was
gosh.
like, oh my God.
That's
It was just like the universe. It was just
yeah.
like, and then of course, COVID happens. Everyone
Mhm.
disperses. I moved to Austin kind of randomly. And then we went from like having a home full of friends to like, and a community thriving in New York, 19 years in New York to no
Yeah.
friends. So my ex-husband and I, we were like, okay, let's start rebuilding community here. And one by one, we were just like started calling our friends, like, know anyone cool in Austin, who moved here, whatever. And so the very first friend we were introduced to was this guy named Taro. And Taro is the founder of Four Sigmatic, and he's a 13th generation mushroom farmer.
No
And
way.
he started this functional mushroom company called Four Sigmatic. And
I know it well.
he came to my house with his pregnant wife, Cora, who's this like barefoot, like nature loving mushroom queen, and and we got to talking. I was like, I have this idea, Hiro, plastic eating fungi, diapers, first product, and he was like, I love this, but like, like I could be an advisor, get support, would love to, do this with you. And I was like, great. Well, cut to they give birth. They're going through like 20 diapers a day or whatever. And then his wife is like, go build that with this woman, And so like he called, and so then we talk and we become co-founders, and then we start working on
Amazing.
building the science and like, but that's like, think about like what, the magical universe.
Perfectly for you to be in that space that you have to be in, that you're supposed to be in. I love stories like this when the world is there supporting you, because that's where your path is supposed to go. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Exactly. And it was like, it's just the alignment. It just was so powerful. And it's like when it's like an idea whose time has come, or there's like a true dharmic alignment, it does become effortless, and the right people show up at the right time when you need them to move this dharmic project forward. And I really like humbly, like I've really like taken to prayer like a lot, like manifestation, like the power of prayer. Like I built an altar in my new home here in Austin, and I pray to nature. I have my cheering squad, my trees. I call them my cheering squad.
Oh, I love it.
And as we're growing this business, so then we, built a lab in Austin. We brought these PhDs and, brought the number one diaper engineer from Procter and Gamble. He's on our team. He's our president of our company. He really built this diaper. He's incredible. And he's also happens to be a wizard mycology guy. And so he really can like toe both worlds. And, we really are building the most epic, like truly eco-forward company. And we're going to put nature on our board. We're forming our board right now, and nature is going to have a seat at the table on our legitimate board of our company.
Oh, I love that.
I gave
that's beautiful.
Yeah, I gave some of my personal equity to Pachamama Alliance, which is saving the 88 million acres of the Amazon rainforest. And so I went there over New Year's, year and a half ago, not this New Year's, but New Year's prior, and I sat with the Oshawa tribe and the Sapra Nation tribe leaders, and we talked about this project, and I just was like, I want this project to be backed by the Amazon rainforest. And so they have an organization called Pachamama Alliance, and so I gave some of my personal equity to them to like have the trees on our team, and so like we're building this with collaborating, truly braiding with nature, like on our team. And like the fungi are on our team. Like these beings, they're on our team. And so like, so like this truly is a nature collaborative, collaboration with nature, so that's what's so exciting about this. It's a new paradigm.
Well, and
no,
and I think I love that you did the Friday and Thinking Days. I think that spaciousness you talk about, like, we all need this. And I think about mindfulness a lot, whether you're praying or you're meditating or you're just walking in the woods, we as a society need that space because we are so destructive and fearful and angry. And we see it manifesting out there right now in many ways. And I really believe that if we could get everybody to take that time for themselves, right? Because we don't do that either, right? It's go, go, go. One more thing, ladder, 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 and I don't have time. No. And I don't do it enough for myself, but just to I try to do no meeting Mondays, but of course, we're just a moment to get through stuff, right? So I really, really think that's amazing what you're doing. And I really love the idea of like, how do we change culture? And it has to be personal, right? To your point, Jen and I talk about this all the time. I'm like everybody's heard me say it on the podcast, sadly, people don't care about the fish. They're not really worried about them.
They don't
But when it
see
comes
them.
to, they don't see them totally. It is I love the word hyper object. Environmental concerns, the environmental crisis. It's such a big concept.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even wrap my head around it. I don't even know how you want me to interface with that. How do you expect me to fix it? And it becomes a little bit of this
Daunting,
kind of
yeah.
back and forth. Yeah. And so then we retreat and we stop and we don't see it anymore. And we just, I just really like chicken and I want to eat it. And I don't really care how it was raised.
Yep.
Right. Out of sight, out of mind. And if I just don't ask the question, right. Because that's the other thing, Jen, right? If you know, now
take actions.
Once you know, this is great information about the diaper. Like I'm sitting here thinking, holy shit, I put 12,000 diapers with 2 kids into the landfill that are just still sitting there. And then think about the diaper genie and the more plastic with that too, which I don't think I had because I don't think it was made, but
but even like
but that'll do it.
Totally.
So you could put this in a diaper genie because it'll break down the plastic that's around it.
100%. And even
or the plastic that your stuff goes into.
Totally. And it's like when we're operating from a place of hurry and no spaciousness and a place of like distraction and hurry. One of the things that came up, I did a ceremony when I was in the Amazon rainforest. When in that ceremony, what just kept coming up over and over again was move slowly and you get to meet the moment. Move slowly 100%. And you get to meet the moment because you just miss the moment. We're missing every moment because we're moving on to the next moment so quickly that we miss the moment right now. And you're just like, what about right now? And so even like when you think about these diaper companies, they're trying to make you hurry even through your product. So like, for example, this diaper does not have that line. It's called the wetness indicator that basically tells you when it goes from yellow to blue to take the diaper off faster. So basically what the marketing companies of these big diaper companies basically said, let's put this line here. And the second a tiny drop of pee goes into the diaper, not only is this like a toxic thing that's going to cause more rash and more irritation to the baby, which then allows them to, get the diaper rash cream, which is also owned by these big companies, by the way, and so it's sort of like, it's like, not only will this line make show that it'll go from yellow to blue faster. The reason why they did it was so that they can get the diapers off faster. And so then the mom is like, oh, feels guilty. Like, oh my God, it turned blue. I got to change it. But then it's still so nothing in it because it's like a drop. These things are meant to last 12 hours, And so like, that's the promise of these diapers. They last 12 hours, up to 12 hours, day or night.
And they keep the baby dry.
And they keep the baby dry. That's the whole point, is to keep it dry. And ours does, and you can really see on our website. But it's like, we took that off because we don't want you to hurry through the diaper. We don't want you to be, oh shit, I'm just distracted. Let me just take it out. And then I even realize that there's nothing in the diaper, but I've already thrown it out and whatever. I just got to move on to the next thing. It's really about slowing it down, learning the cues, learning elimination communication. These years, it's like long days, short years. These years go by so quickly.
I know.
It's like you want to just like savor these moments with your baby. And it's like, like I witnessed my baby like grab something for the first time, roll over the first time, smile for the first time. Like I got to take that time to witness his first crawl, his first reach, his first standing up, his first step. Like I got to meet those moments, because I was moving slowly during that period, which is so precious. And so when a new parent, becomes a new parent, we hope that there's time for slowness and to be able to meet the moment with your baby. And so for us, like we're going to create these present, eco-forward parents to really bring this new paradigm forward. And I think like if we can get them at this stage where their hearts are open, their hormones are raging a little bit more, that they can then maybe settle into this new paradigm instead of just going back to the hurry and just going and going, and then forgetting about all this, going back to the billions of Amazon boxes and whatever,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And hopefully then you're creating advocates, not only for the environment, but I was thinking of like, we don't have good policies in the States for maternity leave or paternity leave. And so, so many parents don't even have the opportunity to be slow, right? Even somebody who did have the ability to take time off, that's a luxury. Yeah. So that, it's like, then we can advocate for changes for everybody. It is. So I love what you're doing. We've been like all, so much time. I know. I have so many more questions, but I know we're running out of time. So what are the big things that we want to like touch on as we're sort of wrapping up here? I know we didn't really talk about your, like how you got here, because I do think that, the Thinx, product was so revolutionary. And then TUSHY is brilliant. And I feel like, we got a bidet during COVID, and that was like, it's like my husband's favorite thing. I don't know if I can say that, but,
you totally can, with pride.
With pride. And so he's a huge champion, and same thing, like, we shouldn't be buying any toilet paper. And I'm like, yeah. So what's next? Like, I mean, I know we talked about adult diapers and pads, but I mean, you could be selling just the mushroom product and giving it to me as maybe I'm not even recycling my plastic anymore. Am I
you don't have to recycle
it? Like, I don't know.
No, you don't. No, this goes in the trash. I mean, that's the whole point, because it can't be recycled.
Right. But what do we, like, all my other plastic, like, now I'm like, okay, what are we tackling next?
Exactly. I mean, that is, I think the next thing is actually tackling our
opportunity.
Yeah. The opportunity.
Don't go. Also, just, are you sure you don't want to go a little bigger than that?
Yeah. I mean, it's really like, again, like creating eco-forward leaders in the household. So it's a one person. When you say like, I feel like I don't know. It's the thing is too big. That's what's so beautiful about this. It's your baby. You can focus on your baby and your baby's environment. You don't have to focus on anything else. But if you focus on your baby and your household and your baby's environment, the entire ecosystem, even just your family, that's enough for you to become an eco-forward leader.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like, oh, I just learned this little from Hiro, like I joined their monthly Zoom and learned these postpartum herbalism tonic, how to make it in 5 minutes. And it's really helped manage my hormones and made me feel like, wow, like I can actually be present with I'm not like just going through the motions. I actually can move oh wow, I just learned this like grinding hack of how to make 5-minute meals for my baby without having to buy all that plastic shit. Oh my God, I just learned what permaculture is. Like, wow, that's cool. I'm gonna build like a little thing where like where I'm planting a permaculture garden in my backyard, and it's gonna take me very little time to manage and maintain. Like, oh wow, like I just learned about the fungal kingdom. Who else can I tell? Like, I didn't realize how we have a microbiome and how it exists in our food, and we shouldn't be scared of these things. They're so powerful, and they are truly our friends. They're medicinal. They're our best friends, actually. Like, how do we like empower the leaders of each household, one household at a time? Like, that's what I really am curious about.
Yeah, no. And I think, obviously we're all women. Like, I think women, like, that female power is so important. And I think that's also sort of something really interesting in the culture right now, that there's a lot of fear of it. And that's why you're also seeing the aggression and what's happening.
The takedowns I've experienced. I mean, like, people saying wanting to shoot you.
It's fear.
Burn for witchcraft.
Oh my God. We've talked about, Jen. I always want to, have you read The Immortality Key?
Yeah.
No, but everyone told me to read it.
Yeah.
So short, it's like,
to read it.
It talks about, psilocybin was the original Eucharist, actually, plant medicine, and that women were really, the spiritual leaders. And then the men in the church came in and they wanted to burn us at the stake because we were witches and we were actually had the answers, but they didn't want you to be the answer anymore. They wanted to channel and be the gatekeeper for the other
side. But meanwhile, they come from us and through us. And so there's no fight. Like I have a son, like I want to collaborate and remind them that like we are, like we need the Shiva Shakti dynamic. We
Yes.
need the male masculine
Yes.
feminine dynamic. It is crucial to have both. We can't, no one can exist without the sperm, and no man can exist without us birthing them into reality. So there's the power dynamic.
No, I
you're
know.
the only, yeah, it's a very interesting thing about the structure of the patriarchy and the conditioned belief systems that it created, that we're all unraveling, hopefully quickly soon. But it's taken, since the Neolithic time, since the patriarchy was formed, like post hunter gatherer, in the space of, like farming, and this is my land and my wife and my offspring and mine, versus like, let's just get what we all need. Let's all share. It's a we, like we're all just
lost
whatever
the
we
cooperative.
need.
Yeah.
So we're
Literally.
hopefully coming back to that. But
I think I'm an optimist, and I think
Yeah.
maybe we're in the death throes of it.
Well, I always say that this podcast is always about hope, because nature is hopeful. So with that, how do we follow you? Like, where are the best channels for us and to share with our audience? Like, where's best to follow you on social? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Like, where can we follow you?
Yeah, I would definitely just, first of all, go to HiroDiapers.com, HIRO diapers.com. We do have a gifting option that you want to gift a month subscription to a friend on their, for their, for their birth.
Yeah.
You can obviously join the hero's journey, which will, if you're pregnant or having a baby, or just had one, or have baby in diapers, like this is so important to not only join the journey of working with the most amazing diaper itself, but then also harnessing nature to support the breakdown, but then also learning true like life skills and leadership skills to become an eco-forward parent. Like I really, really am excited about this journey. So I hope you can help that part of of amplifying that. So HiroDiapers.com, and then joining the journey, truly, that's such an important thing. And then myself, just at Miki Agrawal on Instagram, I post every day. It's where you find me. And then LinkedIn, I just post some business stuff. I do have a monthly blog, called Miki's Musings, that you can subscribe to on my MikiAgrawal.com website.
And can we get the diapers? Is it 100% direct to consumer, or you have retail distribution now?
100% direct to consumer. Great. We want to get to, first 10,000 users, and then customers, on our website, and then we'll go to retail.
Great. Well, we're excited. We're going to amplify. I love what you're doing. It's so fabulous to meet you. And I know if we're in Austin, we'll look you up. And if you're in Atlanta or New York, please come find us. We would love to hang out and talk more and take walks in the woods.
That would be so wonderful. I love your energy, both of you. And thank you for giving me the space to share.
Oh, Miki, this has been amazing. And congratulations.
Yeah.
And can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Monica, I always feel like we have such great conversations. This was so interesting on so many levels. What do you think?
No, I absolutely love it. And I love how the thread through all of her businesses is to make our waste less wasteful.
Yeah. And I do love that nature has a seat at the table. I was clapping under my table when she's saying that we actually put nature a seat at the table for us and our business for Hiro Diapers, which I think is fantastic. And it's so revolutionary as well.
Yeah. And the statistics she gave us about diapers really blew me away. I am a little bit feeling shame at having used so many plastic diapers, or just, but now we know we can change that. And I love that mushroom, the fungi, is the decomposer, and her story of how she figured it out and got there. And there were so many little isms that I pulled from her.
Yeah. Well, there's one I loved when she's talking about learning the cues around you. Like, we have to stop being so reactionary. Like she was saying, the world is so reactionary. We're just reacting to everything, like our emails all day, like everything that's coming at us is all reactionary instead of being I know we talk about intentionality and being intentional, but most of our lives we're so reactionary. So that, like she's saying, we live in a reactionary world. So the thought about learning the cues by slowing down is how you really learn the life that's happening around you. Like our child, just all these little micro moments that help us see the world and help us have ideas that we often can't have because we live in such a reactionary space.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it takes people who think differently and are a little bit more aligned with their own selves and maybe with nature or we can talk about the universe, and they're taking that time. Like I think she was saying those Friday thinking days, taking that time for yourself to really be strategic and slow down. That's how you get these breakthroughs and sort of think about where am I going next? And I feel like so much of society dismisses a little bit of that as woo-woo. And I hope that when we talk about it, we're trying to make it accessible and not weird, because I think we all need to do what's right for us and think a little bit differently. And so much of that is the mindfulness, slowing down, getting out of nature. Like I love on your walks, like stop, pull the rosemary, smell it, or the lavender, look at the leaves, look at the veins in the leaves, think about what's beneath your feet.
Yeah. It's all those things.
Those
moments that we have. And when she was talking about that slowing down is because I think about all the ideas I've ever had for business ideas for myself personally have always been when I'm out for a walk, have always been when I'm just kind of in my own space, my own head. But I remember those moments of having like, that idea, but it's always been when I've been walking. So I love her. I love her mission. I love her partner. There's so many
God, he was so cute. So we're going to interview, you guys don't know, but we're going to interview her partner, Seth, about his really cool biophilic solution. Well, she was amazing. I joked after the interview that I'm like, I want to interview her parents because I'm like, she's got these two incredible daughters. It sounds like her older sister is some crazy surgeon in Colorado. But God, Jen, that was great and really inspiring. And, it's exactly what we want to bring you guys. Is really highlighting people who are doing incredible work, who are trying to make a difference, are making a difference.
All the beautiful things in life that we all, and again, like how we speak about hope, that she gives us hope. And again, bringing these people on this podcast helps. Like I learned so much, like we all do. And that education helps us see the greater picture of like what we can do all together, separately, but all together. Like how do we make our planet better? And
I know, Jen.
And thank you, Katrina, for bringing her to us. So
yes. And so one person at a time, at a time, we're making a difference.
All right, Monica, this was a great one. And we'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye, Jen.
Bye. Thanks so much for tuning into Biophilic Solutions.
If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow and subscribe on your podcast app and leave a 5-star rating because your support helps us reach a wider audience.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share it with your friends.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks with another engaging conversation. See you then.